There's no way. And Ghana was one of the most populous, the highest population of slaves exported from the Ghana area. There's no way humanly possible that we, the majority of we, so-called black Americans, so-called Caribbean Americans, so-called South Americans of so-called African descent, came through the transatlantic slave trade. That's the biggest issue that we have to get past. And it creates a psychosis where we don't go anywhere, where we just focus on the pain of something.
Granny used to tell me all the time, sparks when faith and preparation combine. The road been right here all this time, but you gotta look with more than your eyes. And the small axe Jesse Ryle representing for IjahStars mindset, rich forever.
What I was saying regarding reparation, because I think that reparation is due, and is not that Africans in the diaspora and Africans here on the continent have to wait on any specific group of people to pay for reparation. I think that it is due because of how many years black people, African people on the continent here, also in the diaspora, what they have been through, seen. I think that they are due to be compensated for the work that they have put out over more than 400 years. Would that just coop it to about 450 years now? See, I think that we deserve to be compensated. Yeah, we deserve to be compensated. And why we deserve to be compensated? When you look at Africa now, Zane, Africa need the development. And Ghana, for instance, because we're here in Ghana, Ghana have been to the IMF within 18 times since the independence of 1957. Zine, 18 times.
Let's look at that though, Dre.
No, if we had reparation, we wouldn't need to go to the IMF 18 times since.
Can I?
Yes, sir.
The root of reparations is repair, right? Is repair. And the biggest thing that has been damaged that needs repair is our mind. So when you and I were talking initially about reparations, I said I don't care about anybody giving me anything. I embrace self-reparations by governing myself in indigenous jurisdiction, not colonial governance. You understand? The people that were involved in the transatlantic slave trade, the Euro descendants who were involved in the transatlantic slave trade, were compensated reparations because slavery was legal. They weren't doing anything wrong. This is a papal decree. So this is institutionalized. You know, we can't just call it slavery, because what was it really? We're even fighting the wrong fight, because we're fighting against slavery when in actuality we suffered denationalization. If you were Yoruba, Igbo, Ga, Ashanti, Fanti, Kotokoli, you were pulled from your nation. Denationalization, kidnapped, and genocide, an open slaughter of a people. Slavery was legal. But kidnapping, denationalization, and genocide is international crimes from ever. And that is a channel of where we have a recourse, but not fighting slavery. And by all means, I mean, we're sitting here at the feet of the Cape Coast Elmina Castle dungeons, and there's about 800 to 1,000 people that will be there for 8 months to a year. My brother, there's no way. And Ghana was one of the most populous, the highest population of slaves exported from the Ghana area. There's no way humanly possible that we, the majority of we, so-called black Americans, so-called Caribbean Americans, so-called South Americans of so-called African descent, came through the transatlantic slave trade. That's the biggest issue that we have to get past. And it creates a psychosis where we don't go anywhere, where we just focus on the pain of something. Man, listen, we as Moors, as black people, the word slaves comes from the Slavs because we Moors enslaved, captivated, and imprisoned white people. And they don't talk about it, but it's facts. We black people enslaved them first, and they don't mention shit about it. Just like they don't talk about when we ruled them in Europe for 400 or 500 years. And how conveniently, right after the fall of Alhambra, Christopher Columbus and the rest of these guys go over there with Moors from Elmina, Ghana, who went to El Andalus, who went to what they're calling Spain and Portugal, went there and they served as navigators, people from right here that were known as Moors, wearing a similar red sash that you have on your head right now. And it's all over history. It's our story. But we're spending so much time wondering what we're going to get from somebody else. Man, we standing on gold, diamonds, bauxite, manganese, lithium, everything, diamonds. Have you seen our women? My brother, there's no better natural resource than what's here in the continent. Unexploited. Now, myself as an indigenous American of Aboriginal, Moorish, and transatlantic slave trade ancestry, but I stand before you as an Aboriginal Moor. I'm not crying about shit. We're taking it back. But that's the thing. We have to take our minds back. Our minds. Nobody's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves.
See you guys. Stay cool.
You know what this thing is called here? These two lobes of the brain. These two lobes of the brain, of the cranium, are called the temple. You know what sits in between the temple? A pyramid. And when you breathe in that pyramid, that sacred mirror, you make something called a mirror Kaaba. The word pyramid was actually mirror. Lighthouse. You light your fire, light your solar plexus. In ancient Ethiopia, this is called a Merkaba. They'll say it's a 5-pointed star of David. This is the sacrum, and this thing lined up, busting your head open to bring your higher self about. We don't need no other reparations but mind, body, and spirit. There's nothing closer to God in the flesh than what you see in the mirror every day when you wake up and brush your teeth, my brother. Facts. And I don't accept for a minute that the majority of us people in the diaspora came through these punk ass little pieces of rock. My house is damn near as big as this place here, right here. No lie.
So what I said, black people never come through the passage?
No, I never said never.
Okay.
But it's a way smaller number than what we've been told. This is somebody else. Is that mine? That's mine.
See?
Yeah. So it's a way smaller number, my brother. I'm talking about if these are all my fingers and these are all us from the diaspora, maybe this many came from here. But see, when we focus on what's outside instead of what we have, just like our continental national African brothers and sisters here, focusing on everything outside of Ghana, and then the demon is hitting here taking all the resources. And we're over there focusing on everything, trying to get back over here, and they sitting over there, goddamn scooping up all our nationality. You got $5 Indians running around. You got white people with blonde hair and blue eyes telling you they Cherokee, Choctaw, or Lenape. Are you serious? Yeah, very serious. That's exactly what's happening.
Why the I
Because
decide, I pray thee, why you choose to come back and reside here?
Because the chief Maku of my nation was taken prisoner and put into a supermax penitentiary. And before he was taken in our holy lands, in our land Wahani, the golden city was destroyed, he told us, spread out. And we've been overrun here. We always knew we had cousins over here, man. We're the same people. We're the same people. I mean, it's the same damn body of land. You can stick them together, right? Just like you see in Ghana, we had this thing called Denchira. I think it's Denchira. It's the two crocodiles with one belly. Charlie, this is I and I. This is we, Dread. This is we. So what pains you in the continent is paining me over there as well. And when the European went to the north, when went to America, he described indigenous people as identical to the Guinea Negro, brother. This is the Gulf of Guinea right here. I can look at carvings all over America and see your face.
Yeah.
They're reconstructing the bones and they're looking at it and they look like you and your mama. And I say that with all love and respect. But then we're going to argue whether we're going to call that being an African or not. See, I'm not going to accept that title as an African. And you get mad. You say, oh, but no, we all come from Africa, blah, 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 man. Come on, man. Relax, man. Relax. Relax. We're getting our asses kicked. You understand me? I'm not going to sit here and debate whether your Messiah or your messenger is the true and living representation of God. I don't care about that shit, man. We're getting our asses kicked. We need to stop arguing about the small things. Focus on the big thing. You understand me? It's that simple. And when we really get down to it, we're going to realize that all people naturally can and should reproduce together. Every one of us. I don't give a shit if you black as coal and somebody white as pale. You can still mate and have a baby that's not sterile, right? Then that means nature said it's okay. So that's not what we need to do right now in most cases, because we need to get our shit together. Because we look in the mirror and see less of ourselves. So until we're at a point when we can look at all humanity and see the beauty in all of it, that we're not ready to interact with other people.
What's your thoughts on Marcus Garvey and his stance on race purity?
Wow, Marcus Messiah Garvey,
Yeah.
There's a book he had out, The Poetic Works of Marcus Garvey.
And the philosophy and opinions also.
Yes, but this is one I'm going to quote here. It's from The Poetic Works of Marcus Garvey. And he described Europe as a den of angry wolves. And it goes on more and more to describe them and us. And, things are relative for a season. Things are relative for a season. Even at the time of Marcus Messiah Garvey, there was before him Noble Drew Ali of the Moorish Science Temple. There's a famous picture of Marcus Messiah Garvey and Noble Drew Ali in a car together, a convertible in Harlem, I believe. And they knew that they had similarities and differences. And there was even a time when Marcus, I had heard referred to Noble Drew Ali as being a danger. And that could only be because Noble Drew Ali was aware of our indigenous status and our Moorish nationality to America, and Marcus was trying to give the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey was striving to get people to center on repatriating back to the continent. Some of us need to come back. I've been here 14 years, my brother. And I'm an Aboriginal American, Moorish, and Aboriginal ancestry. And I'm a Ghanaian citizen also. Simple. I've got 5 children that come from royal families of different tribal nations in Ghana. 3 different nations. Ewe, Kotokoli, and Fanti. So we ain't come to bow to shit. How Marley say we ain't come to bow, we came to conquer. Yeah. So we're leaving our mark, and my kids grew up learning of their Aboriginal Moorish American nationality as well as their Kotokoli, and they speak Hausa. A little Fanti. So we have to recognize our similarities, the crocodile with one belly, and yet we also have to be open and honest. I mean, you can't come and see these little places and think that all of us came from there, my brother. It's impossible. It's impossible. And then when the people came to America, they described who they saw. And then the oldest bones are being dug up right now, and the colonizer has for the longest tried to say that these were Australoid, Australian Aborigines that came to North America and South America and Central America. I know and you know that the devil's a liar. And now they're picking up the bones and they reconstructed them and they're looking like Nigerians. So we the same people, brother.
Reality.
And there's hold on. This is a funny one. There is a Mongoloid stock, an Asiatic stock.
So I was like, I know this man standing there.
Of Native American.
That's what I was saying. Like, I know this man standing there.
Whose ancestors had white and yellow skin. I'm going to say that again. There is an Asiatic Mongoloid stock of Native American The one that they try to popularize and they call the Red Indian. But Chinese ain't red, Siberians ain't red, ain't nobody that come from that part of Alaska red. They're yellow. It's when they came to North America and they interbred with the foursome.
Aztec, Incas.
You say?
Aztec, Incas.
No, those. Well, before that we had the Olmec or the She. So but there was wars and battles with that, and that's all documented. I mean, I can show you hieroglyphics where you see dark-skinned brown people and red and yellow people fighting at war. And they were fighting because they were migrating over. If you walked over from Asia across ice pathways, you can't tell me you're from North American soil. If you came there and there's bones older than you there, you ain't the fucking original. And when we tell you, and the artifacts show that yes, okay, we accept you as being a Native American. We're gonna call you Native and Indigenous. That's no problem. I got, other nations of Indigenous North America. I respect them greatly. You understand me? But the history is the history, and the reality is we were there before you were.
All right, doctor. Let me ask you this. So where does the Anunnaki fit into all of what you're saying?
Anunnaki. Those that I knew sending crafts of 50 to the planet Earth, you call Ki G Geo. Man, where you from, brother? So, wow. Where does it fit in for me? I walked with a brother named Dr. Malachi York, founder of Tamaray, Egypt of the West, a revealer of books called El Gadushlo Hat, the Holy Tablets, the Sacred Record of Atum Re. I call this man an avatar. Presently, he's in a Supermax penitentiary. He's the Maku that told us to spread out. And I'm one of those that spread out. And he brought us what I know to be the most ancient information on this earth. At a time, well, I say the tablets came out in, I think, 1998, 1999, the Holy Tablets. And presently I watch individuals like Billy Carson on Forbidden Knowledge and many others. And I watch them and listen to them, and it only makes my heart smile most of the time because it's not new. That's why I say, and I said earlier on, we're all connected, man. You understand me? And if the laws of nature, male and female, come together and you can produce...
Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video. I just start the mindset.